everybody, we're going to take that ball and we're going to lie on our backs. I want you to place the ball in a spot that's roughly around the bra strap area or slightly below it. It depends on the length of your torso. So we're going to sit on the ball. You can see right there where it's positioned. And what I'd like for you to do is place your hands behind your head, supporting your neck, and come into a position of extension. So support your neck as much as you need to. Widen your elbows and lift your chin up. Hold this position. Take some nice big inhales. Feel the expansiveness of your diaphragm as you inhale. And then exhale to lift up. And then we're going to do that a few more times at a little bit more rapid pace. Inhale down and exhale up. Inhale down, exhale up. As you're coming up, you're bringing your bottom rib and hip bone closer together. And as you're coming down, you're taking them apart, away from one another. And you're syncing up the breath. Inhale down and exhale up. And we're going to add a little bit more movement onto it. We're going to inhale down, exhale, float your right leg up, set it down as you come down. And we're going to alternate from side to side. So as you're floating the knee up, I'd like for you to keep the weight even across your tailbone. We're going to do 4 more. 3. Great. 2. And 1. Nice. Go ahead and give yourself a little hug in of your chest. Go ahead. And squeeze tight. Find that nice little ball formation. And so if you need to readjust your ball, you are more than welcome to. We're going to go ahead and do double leg stretch. So we're going to inhale out, exhale, sweep the arms around. You have the support of the ball, so it's doing a lot of the work for you, but I'd like for you to keep that lift of the chest and not rely completely on the ball. So we're not going to sink all the way into it. Inhale out, exhale, inhale out, and exhale in. And 4 more times. 4, 3, 2, and 1. Great. We're going to slide that ball a little bit farther down our back so we can start having a little bit more of a core challenge. So in this position, you have to lift the torso up a little bit higher. You're going to work a little bit harder to stay in this upright position. And we're going to single leg stretch with a percussive breath. Keep your sternum lifted. Chin is up slightly. Reach through the extended leg, pulling up on the kneecap. 3 more times. And 2, 1. Great. Set your feet down. Now we're slowly taking the ball all the way down. Now it's going to go underneath our sacrum. The best way to get in this sometimes, just roll onto the ball, or you could lift your hips up, placing the ball. So the sacrum is that bony area at the base of the spine. Now, especially if you have a squishy ball here, you're going to be feeling a balance challenge a little bit more. Draw your legs into tabletop position. Reposition there. Squeeze the knees tight together and try to keep a 90-degree bend. So most of us want to pull our knees in. By 90, think about letting your low back sink towards the floor, but don't force it into that position. We're going to start with a single leg toe dip, and we're just going to build on this move. If anything is too difficult, return to the original move. So find some nice breathing, diaphragmatic breath. Exhales, pull the belly button in. Inhales, expand the diaphragm east to west and towards the back. Now, if you like, you release the hands and you find a little bit more balanced challenge. So we're going to do 2 more. We're going to bolt the knees tight together and we're going to double dip. You are welcome to change the movement in the ankle to flexion. Exhale out, inhale back in. So notice that I'm not rocking the place between my rib and my hip bone. I'm keeping a steady, stable spine as I hinge from my hip. So the hinge is here, not from anywhere else up in the torso. Great. 4 more times. 4, 3, 2, and 1. Quick hug of the knees. And in this position, you definitely can press the low back down. That might push your ball out a little bit, so make sure you position it for leg extensions. So our legs are straight. We're going to flex our heels to go down and point our toes to come back up. Find that breath. Again, if you wish, you can release the hands. You can have light fingertip touch. I think I just switched between the point and flex, so you can decide to do that in any direction. And you can also keep your foot in a point and flexed. And then we're going to go right into a single leg. So as one draws down, one draws near, and switch. Again, release the hands. Great. Try to keep your leg as straight as possible. Try to pull up on your kneecap. And so don't compromise bending the knees to perform it, to bring the legs in closer. Try to have a nice straight leg so you can make the range of motion much smaller. That's fine. So we'll do 4 more. 3, 2, and 1. Go ahead and hug the knees in towards the chest. Give yourself a rest. And then let's place our arms at our side to stabilize ourselves. We bring the legs into a frog position, which is heels together, toes turned out. Pretend you're on the reformer. Inhale, prepare. Exhale, hands down. Squeeze inner thigh together. Squeeze the heels. Exhale out. Another important thing is to pay attention to the position of your neck. We want to look up towards the ceiling. We want the neck long on all 4 sides, and we want to maintain the cervical curve. So you may be looking over at the computer, like I am, your iPad, but go ahead and keep that chin up. We've got 5 more reps. Squeeze the inner thighs together. 3 more. 2, and 1. Nice. Set your hands down, set your feet down. Lift your hips up, squeezing your glutes to remove the ball. We're going to take that ball now, and we're going to place it just behind the right knee. So lodge it in there, and then you're going to press down on it, squeezing it. You're going to find your hamstring, find a nice flexed foot. Again, we build on this series, and if at any time the move doesn't work for you, go back to the first one. So we heel dip. I'm holding a nice neutral spine, honoring all the curves that are there, not allowing myself to give in to sinking the low back down onto the mat, nor am I allowing myself to overarch the spine, letting the ribs go up towards the sky. We've got 3 more. 2, 1. Now we're going to keep doing it with the left leg in tabletop. 5, 6. We're going to do 6 more. Keep reaching through your fingertips, widening your collarbones. And 3, 2, and 1. If you can, extend the left leg straight. Carry on with 12 more dips. 10 more. Try to keep contact with the shoulder blades. Bra strap area pressing down slightly. Slight curve in the low back. Contact with the tailbone. And 3, 2, 1. Keep holding that ball, squeezing it tight. Find connection to the hamstrings. The leg without the ball goes down and up. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 6 more times. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. We've got one more. Hands behind the head. Just the leg with the ball. You're going to pull in and toe tap. Toe tap? How you like that? Toe tap. So take a look at me if you're confused. You're just working the one side. 8 more times, then we'll switch sides. 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Grab the ball. Sway your knees from side to side. If one side feels like it needs it more, hold it for a breath. Awesome. Take that ball, place it behind the left leg. So you're really going to firmly press it into that space behind the knee. You're going to cinch down with your calf. I like to have a flexed foot there. I keep my right leg down to start. I reach through my fingertips. I find that long neck. Chin is up towards the ceiling. And it's more like a heel tap here. 3, 4, 8 more times. So all you want to feel is this hinge from your hip, this femur bone gliding in the socket, back and forth. That's the movement. The rest of the body is stable and strong. Great. 4, 3, 2, and 1. We carry on with 12 more reps, but we bring the right leg into tabletop. Try to keep a nice 90 as you tap with the ball. Good. 4. Find the breath again. 6. We've got 6 more to go. 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. We extend the right leg, nice and strong and straight. Pull up on that kneecap, feel the power of your quad, and let's dip some more. 5, 6. 6 more times. 4, 3, 2, and 1. The leg without the ball, down towards the floor and up. Work with the range of motion that you can keep the right leg straight in. So maybe it's a smaller range for you. That's fine. Halfway. Maybe you do need to softly bend your knee. Work with your body, but work towards lengthening through the back of the knee. And last 4, 3, 2, 1. Hold a nice middle ground position. If you need to modify, bend the knee. Otherwise, hands behind the head and rotate. 2, 3, 4, 5. As much rotation of the spine as you can. Halfway there. 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, Reach the arms out, sway the knees from side to side. We're going to place the ball between our ankles, but I'd like you to know that there are some options if you have back issues or if you need a little bit more support. What you're going to do is take your mat or take a pillow or a blanket, whatever you've got. You're going to roll it up a few times, and this way you're going to support your lower back. So I'm going to do that for demonstration. If you feel the need to do it, feel free to join in. We're going to go ahead and take the ball, place it between our ankles. And we're going to start with a little twist motion. So I'm going to take my front leg towards me and switch. Yes. Back and forth. So what's going to happen is the ball may move a little bit, make this a little bit harder. Find your breath. Open the palms towards the ceiling. Again, I'm not rocking my pelvis to complete it. I'm letting the femur bones move in the socket. Come center, flex your feet. If you need to softly bend, by all means do it, but try to think about getting long through the back of the knee, lengthening those hamstrings, and we reach down and up. So again, trying not to rock the pelvis, trying to maintain a nice neutral spine position, pulling up on the kneecaps. 4 more reps. 3, 2, and 1. Set your feet down. We're going to come back to that position, but before we do it, we place the ball between our knees. If you've rolled up your mat, just keep it there. Find that neutral position. So again, you're not pressing your low back down at this point and holding it there. You're finding a neutral place, a place where you have curves in the low back, arms at your side, and as opposed to articulating, we're just going to come to a bridge, squeezing our glutes, chin is up, and just tapping down. So I'm not articulating at this point. Just squeezing. Start to pay attention to where the weight is in your feet. Are you leaning a little more to one foot or the other? Is the weight even across the ball of the toes? Is the weight even in your heels? Are you landing evenly on your tailbone, or are you landing a little more to the left or the right? Now's your time to straighten that out, lift up and hold it, and we have some small pulses with the ball. Not sure you can see that, but we're squeezing and releasing. Very good. Chin is up, fingertips reach away. Squeeze, and I'm doing it more in a percussive style, so the breathing would be quick inhale. 10 more times. 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Lift even higher, because I know there's a little bit more room in there. Keep this space between the rib and the hip bone, and we pulse up just an inch. Really feeling the glute hamstring connection. Again, even the weight out in your feet, chin up towards the ceiling, maintain the cervical curve in your neck. Last 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Now to come down, articulate. Press the ribs down towards the floor, nice and slow. Roll all the way through to your tailbone, exaggerating the arch in your back, lifting the ribs up towards the ceiling. Now close it down as you roll up. Let's just do that one more time because it feels good. And last one, up. Inhale to hold, and exhale to come down. You're going going to grab the ball again. I know that this position can be challenging for some of you, so if the last round wasn't enough, roll that mat up some more. Get a bigger blanket. Go to the couch and grab a pillow. Really support the low back in these exercises. We want to get it in the best possible position. So we're going to take the ball. We're going to place it again in between our ankles. And we're going to come to tabletop. I've pointed my toes here. And I'm going to extend my legs out and in, squeezing the ball. Out and in. Great. I like to exhale on the way out. Make sure I'm stable in my lower abs. And I like to inhale as I'm bringing the ball in. But you are welcome to switch up this breathing. Cross-train your breath. It's always a good thing. Now bring the legs to tabletop. You're going to slightly twist towards your right. As far as you can go without falling towards the floor. Inhale back to center. Exhale to your left. And you're going to start an oppositional movement with your neck. So as you twist towards your right, your neck rotates on the axis of the spine and twists in the opposite direction. Try to bring your ear towards the floor, not your chin towards your shoulder. Great. Side to side. Now, if you have it in you, the next variation is coming to the side. Extend your legs. Bend the knees. Come back to center. Twist and extend. Find some breath. Inhale and exhale. And if you have it in you, a little extra squeeze of that ball is going to make the work just a touch harder. Great. And last set. Great. Hug the knees in towards your chest. Remove the ball. I'm going to unfurl my mat. But if you're feeling a little stiff in your back, you are more than welcome to keep that there. I'm going to lose a layer. Getting warm. It's hot, huh? I'm going to lose a layer and maybe fix my hair a little bit. All right, so we're still on our backs, but we're going to play with the ball a little bit more, and we're going to pass it through. So you can do all of these with your head down if that's better for your neck. If your head's up, you're lifting so that the bottom tip of the shoulder blades is coming off. Reach through the legs. Great. Here we go. 8 more times. Really reach up. 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. And hug the knees in. So we're going to practice a little bit of spinal stability. All that means is getting everything in your core, from your tailbone to your head. So imagine that your core is not just this area right here. Your core is everything inside you as well. It's your spine, it's your organs too, it's all those little teeny stabilizer muscles. So we're going to find our best possible neutral spine position. That's honoring those natural S-curves that you have in your spine. And then we're going to place the ball on top of our tabletop. And the ball should not move as we move the rest of our body. So your hands are behind your head. You're going to keep a slight space between the chin and the sternum. And you're just going to lift a few inches. And this is a deceptively hard exercise because I'm not losing my lumbar curve. So if I were to lose my lumbar curve, I'd bring my bottom rib and hip bone close together, but I'm not going to. I'm just lifting up, supporting my neck as much as I need to, and I'm trying to make sure that that ball doesn't move at all. you should feel like you're working in the front here, but you're also working on the sides and the back. 4 more times. 3, 2, and 1. Reach up, grab your ball. So we pass the ball. In this position, your back is going to flatten a little bit. And reach. And if you want, you can add a little lift of your bottom. If that doesn't feel good to you, then just pull the knees towards you and pass the ball. The rest of us may lift a little. I've got a slight bend to my knees. You can do that as well. If you'd like to keep your legs straight, you can do that too. Switch directions. And I'm making a nice big circle with the ball, taking it over my head. Squeezing my knees tight together, keeping my chin up towards the ceiling. Last 3 reps. 2, and 1. Nice hug in with the knees, maybe take them wide. Circle the knees around. And then come on to your right side. Okay, we're going to take the ball and we're going to place it in between our knees. We're on our forearm. And I want you in this position to press into the forearm, into the elbow to lift out of the shoulder and upper trap. Find connection into your lats and to the side body. And what we're going to do, just place your hand on your hip, widen the collarbones, chin back a little. We're just going to lift up. Notice that I'm not in a full plank. I'm actually coming into some opening here and down. So I'm going to lift and down. Now if I want to, I can look down at my forearm and at the camera. Down at my forearm and at the camera. Great. So if you've ever done a full mermaid, it's that idea that you're opening up the ribs. You can add a reach of your arm. Inhale and exhale. Find big breaths here. Reach to the fingertips. Look down towards the floor. And 4 more. 4, 3, 2. Hold it up. Take the arm back. Thread the needle. So think about rotating the ribs towards the floor, but because you're squeezing that ball, you can't take the hips with you. So think of this as thoracic or upper back rotation. And when I'm reaching my arm up, I'm actually opening up the chest and taking the arm back. Last 3, 2, and last 1. Gently send your hips down, remove the ball. Hopefully it won't run away from you. Reach up and over, stretch that side we just worked. So the next variation, you're going to take the ball in your left hand. If what we do next doesn't work for your body, go back to what we just did. So we're coming into a full side plank. I prefer to have staggered legs for stability, but you could rest the top leg inside the arch of the bottom. Draw the shoulder down away from your ear. Spread your fingertips. Weight that index finger knuckle. We're going to take the ball up. We're going to hoist our hips up, and we're going to twist. Nice. Inhale. Exhale. Twist. Great. Trying for 10, so 4 more. A great modification is to have the knee down. Do what suits your body. 3, 2, and 1. Set the ball down. Drop the knees Find that nice mermaid. Roll the ball away from you. You can come into a slight twist if that feels good to your body. And before I forget all that, let's switch sides. So we're going to place the ball in between our knees. You want to have a nice squeeze on the ball. We also want to rest on our forearm, pressing into the elbow, finding connection to this underside of your body. So you'll feel work all throughout the core, but make sure that you feel nice and lifted from this side. These 2 points are going to get closer together as we lift up. We start with our hand on our hip, getting used to the motion, and we lift up. And I need to move my knees a little bit farther in front of me. Great. There we go. So find some breathing. Inhale or exhale. There's no right or wrong way to breathe. We just want to make sure that we link a breath with every motion. Now, we're going to add arm and head. Please do what's best for your neck. If your neck's not liking this movement, you can stay looking forward, or you can look down at the mat. Great. We're going to do one more, and then we're going to find some rotation with this. So for this arm, for me, I like to come up to my hand, but you could stay on the forearm. So we're reaching up and twisting. And exhale, twist. Great. And you can follow, I really do like to add the eye movements and the head movements. So I'm tracking my hands with my eyes. And one more time. And let's come down and enjoy a mermaid. Push the ball away. You can twist. So for the next variation, you can stay where we're at. You can also have your knee down, which will take it a step further from where we were, but make you feel like you have a little bit more support. So you have the option of coming into that full side plank. Pick the expression, the exercise that's best for you, and let's reach that arm up. Find a side plank or wherever you're going to be, and reach that ball through. You'll notice that my hips come up a little bit. There's a little bit more rotation of the entire spine. 5, 6. Last 4 if you can do it. 2. And last 1. Again, set it down. Reach up and over. We're going to come on to all 4s, quadruped position. Spread your fingers. This is actually a good position to try to find where your best neutral is. So this would be a little bit too much arching. This would be not enough. So we're going to find that middle ground position where you have a little bit of curve in your lower back. You're not letting your ribs hang all the way down. Yes. Just go ahead, keep the ball in front of you. Hopefully it doesn't run away from you. We're going to step back into a plank and just hold. Shoulders are pulling away from the ears. The neck is long. We're going to rock back and forth a few times. If you need to, drop your knees. I do. Or you're going to stay in a full plank and you're going to come up as the chest taps the ball. It's kind of a half push-up. I want you to keep your head in alignment with your spine. Try not to lead with it. Keep the shoulders back on the back side of the body. Good. And tap. 5, 4, 3, 2, one more. And then reach back into your child's pose, hands on the ball. Reach the fingertips away from you. Keep your ears by your biceps. So we're not letting the forehead rest on the ground just yet. You're going to slowly come into a prone position. And you're going to have your hands on your ball. So I've got a soft bend to my elbows. I'm going to lift my abs up off the floor, which will squeeze my glutes. I'm going to rock back and forth. I'm just squeezing and pulling up. And I want to synchronize that pulling up of my abs with drawing the ball towards me. Playing with the shoulders, seeing if you can open up the chest more. We don't want to feel this extension in our lower back, so keep lengthening the tailbone, keep squeezing the glutes. See if you can lift a little higher. Come down. This time, rest your forehead on the mat. If you need to reposition yourself, do so. On your exhale, pull your abs up. Find that lift in the spine and extension. Once you're up here, you can play around with it. You can lengthen your tailbone more. Draw the shoulders together, down towards the low back a little bit. See if you can lift up higher. Come down halfway. Lift up again. So the position of my neck is important. If you have a lot of extension or a lot of lift, you can look up a little higher. If you're lifting fairly low, then we don't want to crane the neck. This is where the big red X goes. We want to keep our neck in alignment with the rest of our spine. One more time, lifting up, coming back down, and turn your cheek to one side. Switch to the other direction. Great. Now we want to engage the entire back side of our body. You don't have to use the ball for this, but you can. And we're going to find strength in the back side. You start by pulling abs up, squeezing glutes. You can engage so much through your legs that they lift. And then you can lift the ball. So from this position, you could straighten your arms. I like to keep a soft bend because it keeps me out of my upper traps. And I'm going to come down, turn my cheek to one side. Inhale to prepare. Exhale, lift. Find your level of lift. You'll rock with the breath. And down, cheek to the other side. Inhale to prepare. Exhale, abs up, glutes squeeze, legs, and lift. Kick the legs a little. If this doesn't work for your head and neck, here's a modification. Resting my forehead on the ball, keeping the back of my neck long, and 10 more seconds. 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Set it down, push up, child's pose, any version you like. Awesome. So we're going to take the ball, and we're going to place it behind our knee again. being aware that all of these exercises can be done without the ball. The ball is just adding a little bit of a level of difficulty. Do what's best for you. So I'm going to place it deep in the area behind my knee, giving it a nice squeeze. I want to spread my fingers, draw my shoulders down, find that nice neutral position. We're going to make a big circle with the hip, or rotation. So I'm going to reach it around, out to the side, and it's as big as I can make it. Within that, there's going to be a little more weight shifting onto the left side, and that's fine. Squeeze the ball. 4 more in this direction. 3, 2, 1. Now I'm going to draw it towards me first, up and back as high as I can, and around. Work within the range that your hip is happy with. Remember to keep the spine neutral, the pelvis neutral. Then the head of your femur has lots of room to circle around. Last 3, 2, and last 1. Bring it down. Sit back for a second. I'm really rounding my upper back here. Come back into this all fours position. Lengthen through the neck. Now we just go straight out to the side. 1, 3, 4, 5, just for 10. 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. And set it down, and we've got our last move here. It's a tap and lift. Try not to lift so high that you arch your lower back. So you lift and tap. I'm sure a lot of you could lift a lot higher, but we want to keep the spine stable in this position. Four more times. 4, 3, 2, and 1. Nice. Remove the ball. Sit back. This time I'm child's posing with my knees tight together. All right, so we're going to do that on the other side. So you're going to take the ball. Again, remembering you don't have to use the ball. Place it tight behind the left knee. Find your all fours position. Neck is long, fingers are spread, spine is neutral. Got some crazy hair stuff happening over here. So we're going to find that nice big circle. So you can see on this side how I do have a little more weight into my right. I'm going to go out to the side. So this will give you a visual of what it looks like on the non-working side. Good. 4. Big as you can without losing stability in the spine. 6, 7, 8, 2 more, 9, 10. Now reset yourself, shifting weight back towards that working leg. When you go out to the side, abduction here, we're trying not to lean into that other leg. You'll feel more of your obliques on the left side. 7, great. 8, 9, 10. Bring it in for lift and tap, remembering to keep the low back in the same position, not arching the low back as to lift the leg higher. 8, great. 9, and 10. Come down, release the ball. We're going to come to what we call in Pilates the Z position. So I've got my right leg out to the side, and the sole of my left foot is pressed against my thigh. Now, if this isn't available to you today, you could come to your knees, because we're going to be rising up. So you could try this position. You could also I think cross-legged wouldn't work too well unless you're quite the yogi, which I know I have one out there watching, so feel free to do it. All right, so we're in our Z position. I'm going to scoot back a touch. I want to feel a lift between my ribs and my hips, so I don't want to sit in this forward folding position. I want to find space here. From this spacey position, I'm going to lift up and squeeze my glutes. And down. And what I find as I do this, keep going, is that I start to get this separation between the sole of the foot and the thigh. I'm going to show you guys a side view as well, so you can see that I am pushing my hips forward, but not at the expense of arching the upper back. And now I want you to push the ball forward, squeezing the ball as you come up. Inhale. Exhale down. Try to set your hips down very slowly, feeling a widening of the sit bones, a widening of the pelvic floor. And 2. And 1. Squeeze the ball really tight and come down. Before you leave this position, you're going to twist towards the left foot. Take the ball, walk out, and stretch. Press your right knee down firmly. Reach through the fingertips. Feel the whole right side of the body stretch. You're going to release the ball. See if you can bring your chest even closer to the floor, forehead to the floor. All the while reaching through the fingertips of the right hand. Let's walk it up. Let's switch the Z position. I'm going to do a few like this, and then I'm going to show a couple in the modified position if that's what you're doing. You can go right to that motion, if you want, of squeezing the ball. So it might feel good to switch the breath, where you're exhaling up, inhaling down. Try to feel a broadening, a widening of your sit bones, a widening of the pelvic floor. Carry on. Those of you that are here, you're reaching up, reaching the ball out away from you. Nice. So reach, squeeze it, and down. Let's do 3 more. Squeeze. 2. Last one. Squeeze it really tight. Draw your shoulders down your back. Let your neck grow longer. Come down over towards the right knee. Pressing this knee down at the same time. If you are in a modified position, then you're here, reaching out, okay? Just want you to find a nice stretch. Eventually, I'm going to lose the ball and try to bring my chest closer towards the floor.